Hello my friends and welcome back to the channel. It's your good friend and fellow angler here, ready to break down the week ahead. And what a week we have in store. We're looking at the forecast from the 12th to the 18th of January 2026. Now I've been studying the charts, and this isn't going to be your average, straightforward winter week. Oh no. This week is a game of patience, a story of changing pressure, and it all builds towards a weekend that could produce the fish of a lifetime, especially for you predator hunters. We've got a major lunar event happening that you simply cannot ignore. So stick with me because I'm going to explain exactly why this cold, challenging week could offer some truly explosive fishing if you play your cards right. First up, let's talk about our prime target, old Essox, the pike. In these cold conditions, friends, pike are not wasting an ounce of energy. Forget chasing lures all over the lake, it's just not happening. They are lying deep, conserving power, and waiting for an easy meal. Your mission is to find the food. Locate the big shoals of roach or bream, and I promise you, a big pike will be sitting nearby like a crocodile, waiting patiently. Look for those deeper drop-offs just off the main shelves. The prey fish will be shoaled up in that deeper, more stable water, and the pike will be holding right on that edge, ready to ambush. For tactics, this week is all about static, smelly baits. A nice oily sardine or a fresh roach deadbait presented perfectly on the bottom is going to be your number one weapon. The scent trail from these baits seeps through the cold water, ringing the dinner bell for a lethargic pike. Remember, bites are going to be incredibly subtle. It often won't be a screaming run. You might just feel a little bit of extra weight or see a slight sideways twitch in your line. Pay attention, stay focused, because that tiny indication could be a monster of a fish that has gently picked up the bait. Patience will be everything. Now, for you coarse anglers, let's talk about roach. January is a fantastic time for big river roach, if you can find them. The key, just like with pike, is that the fish will be tightly, and I mean tightly, shoaled up. You could be just a few feet away from a huge shoal and not get a single bite. This week, focus on the deeper, slower-moving sections of your local river. Look for areas with some cover, like an overhanging tree or a nice crease where two currents meet. That's where they'll be hiding from the main flow. On canals and still waters, the same rule applies. Find the deeper spots. A pole or a small feeder is perfect for this kind of delicate work. This is not the time for piling in bait. A small, golf ball-sized plug of dark ground bait with a few pinkies is more than enough to start. On the hook, think small and natural. A single maggot, a tiny piece of bread punch, or a couple of pinkies on a size 20 or 18 hook is the way to go. Your hook length should be light, around 0.08 millimeters. It's a game of ultimate finesse. The bites will be delicate, but once you find that shoal, you can have a truly magical session catching beautiful mint condition winter roach. All right, friends, let's get into the science of it. Why am I so specific about these tactics? It all comes down to the conditions. The weather for the entire week is going to be cold. We're looking at air temperatures hovering between -2 and 4 degrees Celsius across the country. That means the water temperature is going to be brutally cold, probably sitting at just 3 to 5 degrees. When the water is this cold, a fish's metabolism slows right down. They don't need to feed much and they won't move far to do it. That's why finding them is 90% of the battle. We're also expecting a real mix of weather, from rain to snow showers throughout the week. This tells me the barometric pressure will be unstable and likely falling, which can often trigger short feeding spells. Now for the most important piece of the puzzle this week, the moon phase. We start the week on a waning crescent, and all week the moon is fading until it disappears entirely. On Sunday, the 18th, we have a new moon. From my experience, the days leading up to and including a new moon, with those dark nights, are prime time for predators. They feel they have the advantage, and they will often use this period for a proper feed. So, let's put it all together in our day-by-day forecast. On Monday, the 12th of January, I'm rating the fishing as tough. We're looking at cold temperatures around 1 to 4 degrees, with a high chance of rain. The fish will be sluggish and adjusting to the cold. It's a day for a lot of casting and not a lot of catching, I'm afraid. Tuesday, the 13th of January, will be very similar, a tough day. The temperature dips, possibly touching -3 overnight, with more rain and maybe some snow. The water will be cold and the fish hunkered down. A very challenging day indeed. For Wednesday, the 14th of January, I'm upgrading it slightly to a below-average day. The conditions remain cold and damp, but as the pressure continues to slowly drop, you might find a very short feeding window, probably mid-afternoon. Be patient. Thursday, the 15th of January, things start to look a little more promising. I'll call this one average. The temperatures are stable between -1 and 3 degrees. The fish are getting used to the conditions, and with the new moon getting closer, the bigger fish will be thinking about feeding. It's a good day to put in the effort. Friday, the 16th of January, gets a good rating from me, especially for the evening. It's another cold one, but the new moon is now just 2 days away. Predator anglers should seriously consider a session. The pike will be getting active. Now for the weekend, Saturday, the 17th of January, is looking very good. We're on the eve of the new moon. This is the day to have your big fish gear out, and that pike you've been dreaming of could very well make a mistake today. Coarse fish will also be more willing to feed. And finally, Sunday, the 18th of January, gets a rating of excellent, with a catch. The new moon arrives today. For pike, this is your best day of the week, without a doubt. However, forecasts are calling for heavy rain. On rivers, this could trigger a fantastic feeding spell for chub and roach as the water colours up. On still waters, the heavy rain could have the opposite effect and put the fish down completely. So, pick your venue wisely. There you have it, my friends. It's a week that rewards the thinking angler. Don't just turn up and hope for the best. Plan your attack, be precise, and focus your efforts on that weekend new moon period. Thank you for joining me. I wish you the very best of luck on the bank. Get out there, stay warm, and have a fantastic time. And as always, until next time, tight lines and ni chwosta, ni cheshui. Don't forget to hit that like button if you found this useful, and subscribe for more weekly forecasts. I'd love to hear your plans in the comments below. Are you heading out for a pike this weekend? Or are you going to try for a bag of winter roach? Let me know.